Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. We are 3 days away from the Bears preseason opener, 1 day away from joint practice against the Miami Dolphins. So excited about that. We got some news and notes from training camp to discuss today. We'll take your questions, so hashtag Bears or Super Chat. And then we'll also take a look at some players that I think need to ball out for various reasons during the NFL preseason. So busy show for you guys. We'll let the audience filter in here a little bit for the next few minutes. So shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. Get a few shout outs. And Cullen,
what up?
We got some football on the television tonight. I know you're going to be helping produce our Seahawks watch party. So that's exciting. And then you and I will be rocking and rolling on Sunday. So
Bears
football is back-ish.
Back-ish.
We're not fully back until September, but we are well on our way to being back.
100%. And shout out to you guys in the chat. Yes, as you see, I'm wearing a Seahawks jersey. I'll be on our Seahawks Today show. If you guys want to stop by,
yeah, go show love. What time? 8 o'clock Central tonight?
8 o'clock Central.
Okay.
We'll be live. So, yeah, excited for that. But, yeah, man, we're back-ish. We're back-ish.
Listen, football's on the television. I'll take it.
Yes,
I will take it. Now, you know, when it's Austin Reed and who's going to be the last Dolphins quarterback? I guess Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, I think it's Ewers, actually.
Do they only have 3? That's actually juicy, honestly. Yeah. Quinn Ewers, a little Zach Wilson action, perhaps. So not sure if the starters for either team are going to play. It sounds like after joint practice tomorrow, there's going to be some kind of decision. So still up in the air for that. But, yeah, that is where things sit. By the way, is that a player jersey or just like the 12?
So, yeah, this is just the 12 jersey. I know people are asking about it in the chat, but, yeah, the 12th man fan. I don't know if I can really show this from the back, but, yeah.
There you go.
12 fans right there. So, yeah, just thought, bring the jersey out the closet. Again, I'm, happy working here with the Bears, but, hey, I get to work a Seahawks game. Might as well show off my fandom, right?
There you go. Hey, listen, Seahawks play tonight. It's acceptable.
Yeah.
If you were rocking that against the Bears and the Seahawks won. Did you rock that last year? I'm trying to remember. In that glorious 6-3 game on the day after Christmas?
I think I wore an actual jersey. I think I was...
You were stressed that whole game.
It was... Well, that one...
That was a tough watch.
Yeah, that was... that was honestly one of the ugliest, if not the ugliest game that I think I ever watched. And... yeah, it created one of the better rants of last season.
Cullen is not a traitor. He's never lied about his fandom. So let's. This isn't a Benedict Arnold situation.
Listen, I got love for my Bears peeps in the chat. Obviously, Harry's great. We do a great job here. But hey, listen, I'm straight up honest, right? Like I'm a one-man fan team, and that's my team. But listen, I love talking the Bears with you guys. I'm a big NFL fan as also. So listen, that's just where I stand. That's just where I'm at. This is where I'm at. So.
We'll confirm.
Soldier says half trader. All right, I'll take that.
Half trader. That's acceptable.
I'll take that. I'll take that. I knew I was going to get flamed for wearing this today, but hey.
By the way, is this a new update to this graphic that I wasn't aware of? Because I saw this earlier when I filmed with Tex. Or is that a column issue on your part? The way in 2?
No, that's when part of the new producer update, yes, it is like the smoke and like all. Is that what you're saying? Or
no,
like
the headshots.
Oh yeah, that's.
Am I an idiot?
No.
It doesn't matter. It looks fine.
Yeah, no, I think maybe Sam updated them. Some of them have pulled up from like the Bears. Here, let me just push it across because it is correct. But yeah, no, these are the.
So they don't pop up beyond the border anymore.
I guess.
Didn't they used to do that?
They used to. Yeah, they're in the right spot. So I don't know if Tex did something.
Here.
I don't think so. I mean, it looks correct.
Take a picture of that and let's talk about that afterwards because I don't know if that's. Yeah. Oh, there it goes.
Here, I'm manually editing, but.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm guessing when they did the update, was it just the wrong fit to box or whatever?
Yeah, okay. It's just one of those things. But
all right.
Not a big deal.
We're talking about things that aren't important to the audience. All right, both these players left with injuries today. Don't know the severity. Hopefully it's nothing. But which would be the bigger injury in your guys' opinion if they were to miss, at least week 1? Darnell Wright, Kyler Gordon. Cullen, do you have a opinion here, which do you think would be a more notable injury? 2 starters.
Yeah, 2 starters, 2 very high-profile starters in terms of their expectations and everything. Obviously, we've talked about Dennis Allen's comments made about Kyler Gordon, his versatility, and how he expects to factor into the Bears' defense this year. But to me, it's without question Darnell Wright.
Oh, really? Without question.
Yeah, to me, listen, Kyler Gordon obviously would be a big blow. He's the second best cornerback on the team. He's versatile, all that stuff. I still think he's going to be a big player for the Bears, but Darnell Wright, without knowing the severity, obviously, of the injury and how much time they're going to miss, he is your one continuous guaranteed starter from the offensive line last season, and I think he has a chance to really emerge as one of the better right tackles in all of football. You're talking about Caleb Williams trying to get his confidence back. That would be a huge blow to what Ben Johnson and the crew are trying to do. Now, again, they've addressed the offensive line, with Ozzie Trapillo potentially starting. You added Drew Dahlman, you added Jonah Jackson, you added Joe Tooney. I get all of that, but Darnell Wright was the one constant last year.
I guess the one pushback item I would say is, let's say they just both missed week 1. Hopefully that's not the case. Right. I have no idea. Komet left practice the other day, and he was back today. So hopefully it's nothing serious. But I guess the one thing I would say, and it's weird to say because the Bears in the past haven't even had good starting offensive lines, so backups certainly hadn't been there. The one thing you could say, though, is if Wright is out, you go Braxton at left tackle and Trapillo at right tackle, where he played primarily at Boston College. Whereas if Kyler Gordon's out, you're probably going to Josh Blackwell, which is fine, but I don't know. I feel like that's probably a bigger drop-off than it is going from Darnell and then either Braxton or Ozzie to Braxton or Ozzie to both of them, if that makes sense. Now, I would say for an extended period of time, you're probably right. If they were short-term injuries, I think you could actually get by more without Darnell. But these would be 2, I'd say, pretty notable losses if they were both out. I mean, I'd say, 2 top 10 to 12 players on the team?
Yeah,
going into the season?
Agreed. I do think Darnell's the better overall player, in my opinion. Again, feel free to, voice your opinion on that.
Kyler, obviously, Swiss Army knife. Darnell, though. Darnell's probably better at just playing his position, I guess. Kyler does more different things. So it's kind of a pick your poison there.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And he's protecting your top asset.
Right. And again, what Kyler's skill set and everything. Obviously, we've got the CB2 battle, which we'll talk about here later in the show. But you really can't replace anybody in the cornerback room with what Kyler does on the defensive backfield.
So I feel like Josh Blackwell just doing the basics at nickel could hold up, but you're not doing all the exotic stuff with him, like the blitzes and all that stuff. I think you're just hey, just hold up in coverage. That's kind of what you're hoping for if Josh Blackwell or really anyone else in that room plays that position. Nick McLeod.
Yeah, and again, the chat's about 70% for Darnell Wright. I'm thinking probably worst case scenario, which again, to your point, maybe if it's short term, you could probably get by with, Braxton and Ozzie as your offensive tackle duo, and hell, Karan Yamagachi's even there if something happens. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they're relatively deep at tackle. Now, there's still questions. We don't know what Ozzie Trapillo is going to look like in a real NFL game. Braxton Jones has been serviceable to solid, but obviously he's not exceptional by any means. So, it's a good debate. Hopefully both are fine going forward. I would guess they don't practice in the joint practice tomorrow. I mean, I guess we'll see. If they do, that means then it wasn't serious. So that's a good sign. But obviously we'll hear from Ben Johnson tomorrow and find out what their statuses are. All right, Dennis, the Chicago kid, couple super chats rolling in from the chat. Appreciate the 2, Dennis. He says, Madden 26 franchise with the Bears is awesome with Ben. I did see a couple clips of Ben Johnson on the sideline in Madden. So, I think that drops in about a week or so.
Well, so early access drops already. So
have you been playing? Did you play last night?
This is how much I care about Madden. I bought the early access because I did the bundle with CFB 26. Didn't even realize it started today. Didn't even realize.
So you don't even have it downloaded yet?
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to have to download that when I get home eventually tonight. But, yeah, I mean, one of our guys that works here, Jackson Durham, he came up to me. He's like, dude, check out my Madden. I think he did the superstar mode or whatever. And I legit was like, that started today? And he goes, yeah. And I was just like, I had no idea.
Does he think it's cool? Has he played a lot? Or did he just mess around back there?
Yeah, he was just kind of messing around. I think he's pro some cons, some early things. again, it's Madden, so temper your expectations.
It gets hyped up every year.
Yes, exactly. So
Kurt Binker is a Madden paycheck merchant.
yeah, he is a Madden hype beast.
Yeah. Super chat from Impact. Appreciate the 5. He said, I think leaving Caleb upright this year to see what we have in him is the biggest factor. So Darnell Wright all day. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the Cullen argument too of like when you consider that he's protecting the quarterback and how critical of a year it is for Caleb, then yeah, from that standpoint, I do agree. I guess I was looking at it from more like in a 1 to 3 or 4 game sample, who can you get by better without? I guess I could see both sides of the argument.
Yeah.
I hope neither are seriously injured. I mean,
right, obviously. And, again, it's just like positional value, right? Like, how much is an offensive tackle, even if it's on the right side versus a corner. So
yeah, for sure. For sure. The Notcast, if Ben had no clue Caleb was the first pick, I knew about his hype last year and was just told to pick a QB1 that he could trust. Would he pick Bagent? I don't think so. I know there's kind of this thought out there that, maybe Bagent's better than Caleb, and I guess long-term that could be the case. I mean, obviously we saw like the Brock Purdy, Trey Lance situation play out, but Trey Lance just couldn't play. Like, I don't think that's the Caleb Williams situation, but I don't think so because just look at the physical tools. It's not just where Caleb was drafted. I mean, like he's got a lot of physical talent, so I don't think that's the case. Maybe could in a hypothetical world where, hey, you're given these 2 quarterbacks, could it be some kind of competition? I suppose, but that's just not really. That's kind of a fairy tale world we live in. That being said, I like Bagent a lot. I think he's a smart quarterback. There are things he probably does do better than Caleb at this point. Probably like quick game, get the ball out, that type of stuff. But there's just physical limitations there, obviously. But I think there's a world where at some point in his career he could get a starting opportunity somewhere and run with it potentially. But I actually don't think that hypothetical would even turn into that situation. But appreciate the 5. We got Lefty. Go Bears, ready for the season. I do think Javon will have a breakout year. That would be nice. FGB also, what's your weirdest good take for Bears defense this year? Weirdest good take?
Yeah, maybe one that's like.
Well, the problem is when you have a take, the season hasn't started yet, so I don't know if it's not good or bad until you see it play out, right?
True. Maybe by like, popular conventional wisdom, like, something that's against the grain, but it's like.
There's a good chance it ends up being a good take.
That's the way I'm kind of reading it.
I don't know, like Tyreek Stevenson plays well in this defense. Is that a weird good take? I don't know. Yeah. Give me one, Lefty, so I can kind of know what waters we're entering here. Weird good take. Andrew Billings is a much bigger difference maker than the average person thinks. Like if he's healthy, he will make a huge difference. But I don't even know if that's a weird take. I think we saw that last year when he went down. That was just a disaster.
Just an example of a take that I think he's referring to, like the Bears loading up on defensive tackle will actually be beneficial for their pass rush or something like that. I don't know. Like maybe is that the realm that you're thinking? Like. I don't know. We need examples.
Weird good take.
Weird good. Like Austin Booker becomes a breakout year from Lefty.
See, to me, I would just say that's like, that's just like a bold prediction, a hot take.
Yeah.
Weird good take. And even that, to your point, Lefty, because I think that's like a take you could have, I won't know if it's a good take until it plays out.
Right.
That's kind of the beauty of this industry. But that would be nice if Austin Booker has a breakout year. I'll say this, just a take that I feel pretty good about that maybe doesn't go against the grain but isn't like popular. I do think there's a really good chance Tyreek Stevenson plays well in this scheme. I think this scheme fits his skill set. I think he's motivated. He's got physical tools that fit what Dennis Allen wants to do. Yeah. We've seen him play at a high level at times. I would say Tyreek Stevenson, like establishing himself as a good outside corner in this league. That's a take I would give that maybe the average person would not.
Lefty also says, or we turn the defense run game around.
Yeah, like stopping the run. Yeah, well, that's kind of where Billings comes in. Like Andrew Billings makes this a top 10 rush defense. Okay. I see where you're going, Lefty. Cornelius with the 5. And once we're caught up, do we want to explain?
Yep.
Okay. Did we dodge a bullet by Will Campbell not getting to us in the draft? He's been having a horrible camp. It's hard to say. I do think long term there's a good chance he just has to play guard. Like, I think he's going to run into issues against big, long edge rushers. Because not only does he have short arms, but he has, his shoulders aren't broad. So I think I read that the shoulders not being broad was actually a bigger issue for scouts than the arm length, because I think there were a couple of receivers who had wider shoulders than him.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to have to play guard. And I think he'll be a damn good guard, but I think he can play tackle. It could be like a Joe Tooney situation, Cullen, where if you need him to play tackle, he can hold up. But I don't view him as a long-term 10-year left tackle.
I'm also not taking anything we're hearing from around camp 100%.
Especially Trench's play.
Yeah, it's way too early to write off any Trench's player. I listen, we kind of had our opinions on Will Campbell going into the draft if he, potentially fell to the Bears at pick number 10, but I still think right now, it's an unproven commodity at this point, because maybe he's struggling, but, if there is a point that you want to struggle, right, it's during training camp.
Well, and I think, worst case, you just kick him inside, and he's, at worst, he's an above-average guard.
Yes.
That's, the worst-case scenario, in my opinion.
No, I would agree.
So that's a pretty decent floor, if that's actually the case. All right, you guys have noticed this probably for the last month or two, but YouTube does have a new feature on live shows called Top Fans and XP, and there's a leaderboard. And I assume the viewer can click on the leaderboard, Cullen.
I know we can. There's the little crown at the top right.
I'll pull it up on my phone. Do you want to read this real quick?
Yeah, so what is Top Fans /XP? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in the live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. It's something that YouTube did. This is not something that Chat Sports started. This is from YouTube itself. And you might be asking yourselves, well, how do I get on the leaderboard? You may see, in the chat, somebody else chatting. They have the little crown next to their name. Maybe you see a little number. You'll need to collect experience points or XP, and here's how you get them, right? You either send in live chat messages, so what you guys already do already, right?
Comment in the chat.
Or you could send super chat and super stickers, right? So if we
super chats carry more weight, we have learned that. And if you're watching on your phone, if you see right about there, it's just to the left of where the squiggly line is. Just to the right, about a thumb length to the right of the live chat text. That's where the leaderboard is. So you can see on my personal account, I have 0 XP, but it'll tell you how much you have, and if you click on it, you can see the leaderboard. The Notcast leads the way with 350 points. So if you super chat, if you're active in the live chat, you can get XP points. I do think after a while, and we're still kind of learning how the system works. I don't know if it's an exact science. I think just commenting in the live chat, they cap you at certain points, I think. I think eventually, if you want to keep getting points, you do have to super chat. So right now, this is our top 3 in the YouTube's Top Fans on today's show. And I thought what we would do today, since our first live watch party is Sunday for the preseason opener, you guys know we do a lot of raffles. You guys send in small donations for a chance to win something, a Bears signed jersey, a hat, or something like that. So what we're going to do is whoever is the top fan today, you're going to get 5 bonus raffle tickets for our raffle on Sunday. So right now, if the stream ended, the Notcast, technically Tuna saw it because they're tied at 350. Y'all would get 5 tickets each. If there's a tie, we'll just give you guys 5 tickets each for Sunday's raffle. But if you guys want a chance for that, I don't know what the raffle is yet. Typically, it's something pretty cool, but don't want to sell you a bill of goods and it's something else. But whoever ends up being the top fan today, you are going to get 5 raffle tickets for Sunday. So an opportunity to have start with a little bit of a lead there on Sunday. So if you comment, if you super chat, not only does it help us out, but give you a little bonus back in terms of our week 1 raffle. So appreciate the love and support, and we thought we would kind of explain how this system works to the best of our ability. All right, the Notcast, who was in the lead, but
Yeah.
he has now fallen behind.
I
the
will
lefty.
say you have to refresh pretty much by the second if you want the up-to-date. So,
Yes, and Lefty sending in a $10 super chat
Yeah.
just got him a bunch of XP points. But
Yeah.
the Notcast is 7-on-7. Best CS Chat Sports AFC host versus Chat
NFC
Sports
host.
NFC host. Who wins
Ooh.
for like a football game? So
you're obviously in there.
if we're doing best, I think the only way is just most subscribers. That just makes it easiest.
Okay.
So AFC Raiders. So that's Mitch. What's our second biggest AFC channel?
Steelers, I
Steelers
think.
probably. So Jack Sperry.
So. Yeah.
Two Division I college athletes.
Yep.
They were both pitchers. Now Sperry on the football field. What position's he playing? Is he quarterback? Submarine pitcher? I'm not sure about that one.
I mean, he's got size.
Red zone receiver.
Yeah, he's got size.
6'5".
May not be the most physical presence. Sorry, sorry, Jack Sperry, but
Get him on a smaller corner. Throw
hey,
a jump
listen,
ball up.
Listen, you played your strengths, right?
Yeah. So that's two. Who's
I think Mitch will be pretty scrappy. I mean, listen, maybe Sperry's got a cannon on him. Maybe he's the quarterback. Who
what
knows?
is our third most AFC?
Because honestly, for NFC,
Is it
right?
Chiefs in subs?
Maybe.
Let me
'cause I know
see.
NFC, right? You have Cowboys, so Tom. You have both Eagles and Niners, so Chase. You're obviously up there. Giants is up there with Marsh.
So that's four.
So that's 4.
We got.
Just trying to think of the other big ones.
I'm scrolling through right now.
Seahawks with Will. I mean, that's
Will
game changer.
Ortner. he was a college offensive lineman. Now 7-on-7.
Yeah.
But he looks like a tight end now.
Oh,
he can work the seam.
Yeah. No. 100%.
So we got Ortner. So that's 5. Who is next in NFC? I'm scrolling through right now. We got. I think it's Falcons. So is that?
We'll give that to Reed Bartkus.
I guess Moose. Or
Oh,
no, we'll go Moose AFC with Broncos.
Broncos. Yeah,
I think that's the play there. And then so we'll go Reed for Falcons, and then last one would be, gosh,
I'm trying to think. Rolly low key for Dolphins actually.
Well,
'cause
that's
they're
AFC.
No, well I'm saying for AFC, but
Yeah.
Um,
We need one more for NFC. I think, is it like Joey Packers? Is that our next biggest NFC channel?
well, Ravens, because he's Ravens, wouldn't he be? Because he's
That's true. He's got to go AFC.
yeah.
I don't know. Who's next NFC?
Ooh.
So we're down to 6 NFC. NFC. Let's go AFC. So we said Mitch, Sperry, Rolly for Dolphins. Our new guy, Joey Browns. I think he's on the squad.
Shout out Joey.
Joey's helping us behind the scenes. Different Joey, by the way. Both Joeys on the squad, though, so that's 5.
We got Joey squared.
And then we got we don't know Chiefs yet, so that's an open
TBD.
canvas.
Yeah.
We've got I guess Alper Patriots, I think
that'll
would
be
make
up
the
there.
squad. So that's 6. And then
I gotta look at
how about this? There's our 6-on-6
there's 6.
6-on-6
So
game.
okay, for NFC we've said Tom, we've said you, we said Chase,
Marshall,
we've said well I guess Reed would be Falcons, right? So that'd
and
be
Will
one.
Ortner. That was the 6.
And then Will Ortner.
That's the 6.
Hold on, do we miss somebody? Oh, Trace for NFC.
Oh, there you go. So there's our 7.
Oh, and you forgot Seeps too. Seeps is also in there. for Vikings.
So actually, yeah, who are we kicking off then? Who's the last?
Sorry, Reed. I think you might.
Yeah,
be,
Reed. We'll see ya. We got Seeps and Trey, so that's the 7.
So we got Raiders. So with Mitch, we've got
Sperry.
Sperry. We've got Rolly. Alper, I think, is up there. Joey, other Joey.
Joey,
so 2 Joeys.
So that's 5.
Bengals is currently TBD, so we can't do that.
Top Bengals.
Chugs, Texans.
Yeah, Chugs is in there, so that's 6.
Moose. Did we say
And
Moose?
then Moose.
Yeah, the Moose. Okay.
I like our team.
Yeah,
I
NFC's
think the
pretty
NFC. I think the NFC is running away.
Yeah.
Although I've never seen O'Donohue in action. He could be a wild card.
He looks scrappy.
A little slot receiver.
You're quick.
I'm quick, strong.
There we go.
You've been in the weight room. I can tell.
He's got a little
some
sleeper bill
curls.
over here, man. He's definitely jacked underneath.
I think Ortner is just a physical presence that is not going to be denied.
Order just walks into a room.
This
and
new
immediately
guy we got,
commands
I'm not joking, he's like 6'5", 250, and
Yeah.
he's a unit.
God, there's a chance that, by the way, we might do a beer boot race tonight. Me and him on screen is going to be terrible. Like it's basically.
Have you seen him? Well, he chugged in here. You guys saw him the other day.
Yeah.
He was here on Monday's show.
Yeah.
He makes it's. We compared me and him next to each other. The Derrick Henry Mark Ingram photo.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a big guy. This guy towers over me.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah, I look like just the student body interview guy. The student interview trying to interview these two dudes.
The camera was a little unfair to you
A
on
little
that one. All right, we spent way too much time on that, but that was fun.
That was fun.
Cornelius, no guys, he's struggling bad. Are you talking about Caleb? I don't know who you're talking about.
No, this
here.
was in reference to the Will Campbell discussion we were having.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, let's see how he plays on Sundays. Let's see how he plays. I'll say this. If he's bad at left tackle, they could be in trouble again because that O-line could be rough.
Yeah.
That O-line could be rough. All right, Justin.
Yep.
How long in the season will until Luther becomes wide receiver 3? Excuse me. I think he'll get opportunities early on. I just think they'll probably trust Zacchaeus more early in the season. But I think as the year goes on, when he gets opportunities, if he makes plays, he'll get more and more. I think that's just how it's going to work. So I'm curious, Colin, if they get him involved in the return game at all.
I think I would. To me, that's my number one. I want him to get as many touches as he possibly can. I know.
If you're concerned about him catching punts, if maybe he's inconsistent, just put him on kick return.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then make Duvernay the punt returner.
I agree.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. I just think you can never give this guy who, I think it's safe to say was the best run after catch guy in the draft.
He's physical too, so with the new kickoff rules, it's kind of a rugby play. He's a guy who can bounce off guys. So yeah, I hope they mess with that in the preseason. I think that would be.
I hope they
fun.
do too.
All right, Bears fan for life. Need the duck race to be back. Oh, it'll be back Sunday. Don't you worry.
The return of the Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby is back for another season. So don't you worry, Bears fan for life. Lefty with the 10, and he is in the lead with XP points, 825. If you super chat, you get more points. So whoever wins today gets 5 bonus raffle tickets for Sunday's raffle, which is to be determined what the item is.
Yes.
Depressed Bears fan says, saw this on TikTok. Would you rather beat Rodgers and get swept by Green Bay or the other way around? I would... I think just being logical, I think you would say, because assuming the other way around means you sweep Green Bay and lose to Rodgers, I'll take 2 wins over 1. That would suck if Rodgers' last game at Soldier Field, he beat the Bears again, but not only is it 2 wins over 1, it's 2 divisional wins over your biggest rival. As much as I hate Rodgers, I hate the Packers more.
FGB.
So it makes more sense for season success and just who I hate more. So, yeah, you got to take the 2 divisional wins over your biggest rival. I mean, I think that's actually fairly easy.
Yeah. F the Packers.
But I'm hoping 3-0 in that scenario. Appreciate the 5. Impact preseason game. Who's the one person you're most intrigued to watch? Mine is Major Burns. In case Brisker gets hurt. I like the UDFA pool. Ball Impact. I'm intrigued by him. I am glad to see that the Bears, Colin, have had several physical practices, and it seems like Brisker's been fine, and he's been involved in a lot of these plays. So I think I feel pretty comfortable with where he's at right now. But I still stand by. Your top 4 safeties right now are on expiring contracts. Right. So if either Major Burns or Tyshim Johnson shows enough to make the roster, I would not hate that at all. The good news is chances are you should be able to get at least one of those guys to the practice squad. So I think those are 2 players to watch, though. I don't mind that call. Redman R, I know it's only preseason, but still go Bears. Yeah, listen, it's always exciting when your favorite team's on the TV, so can't complain about that. All right, we got a lot to get to. Appreciate it. And remember, we'll keep taking your questions throughout the show, and all super chats get on screen, and that increases your chance to get those bonus raffle tickets for Sunday. Hit that like button. We appreciate that as well. Helps us get more Bears fans in here. Here's what we got coming up here on today's live show. The latest training camp news, some injury updates to discuss. We'll take your questions like I mentioned. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. If you Super Chat, guaranteed to get on but we'll work in a lot of hashtag Bears questions as well. We'll get to NXM Super after this first segment, by the way, so stay tuned for that. And then players who must ball out in the preseason. Some guys that I think need to play well for various reasons. So we'll go through that as well. A lot to get to here on today's show. If you super chat, we'll catch up. I see a couple coming in, so stay tuned. But let's get this thing rolling. We got some good injury news and some bad injury news to discuss here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Welcome into the program. 2 starters left practice today. One did return, also a player who did not practice at all. We weren't sure at first, but we did find out later why that was the case. We'll also get to some practice takeaways as well. Bit of a lighter practice with joint practice taking place tomorrow against the Miami Dolphins. Let's start with some good news. Cole Kmet appears to be fine. He was back at practice today after leaving on Tuesday, where Adam Hogue and CHGO reported that kind of felt like his arm was a little dangly, left with the trainer, but all appears to have checked out. Do want to give Hogue credit because later that night he had the note on Twitter that it sounded like Cole Kmet had avoided a serious injury after leaving practice with a trainer. He was back out there today, which obviously is great news. This is one of your better players on offense. Even if you're in the camp of you think Colston Loveland's going to eventually take over for the top tight end on this team, you still want Cole out there. He's obviously a very good player, and he's tough as hell. He's never missed a game in his 5-year NFL career, so it was going to take a lot to keep him out, not only of practice, but any potential games. Now, could they play it safe and not play him in the preseason opener? Certainly, but sounds like he'll be good to go tomorrow for joint practice, which is a positive. Now let's get to the first of 2 starters who left practice today. One is Kyler Gordon, left practice fairly early on, I think after a 7-on-7 drill, did not return. I think this is a pretty massive loss if he misses time, because I think he's kind of your, I'm not going to say as good as Tyrann Mathieu, but I think he's going to play kind of that type of role on this defense where he's going to play in the box. They're going to blitz him. He'll play man-to-man coverage. They'll drop him into deep center field. He's going to line up at safety sometimes. Could get some run at outside corner and base defense. Dennis Allen has raved about his potential in this defense. They obviously just paid him to become the highest paid nickel earlier this offseason. And on top of that, Jalen Johnson is currently injured. So there could be a scenario, if Kyler Gordon's injury is serious, that you'd be down Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon week 1. Now, both could play as well. Jalen's status is somewhat up in the air for the season opener at this point, but there is a world where 2 of your starting corners for week 1 are out. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we'll get an update on Friday from Ben Johnson. Ideally, he's just out there for joint practice and good to go. But at this point in time, we do not know his status. All we know is that he left practice and did not return. That was the case as well with right tackle Darnell Wright. He left practice later on, did a lot of team drills, and then exited toward the end of practice in the final period, which is always a bummer. You're toward the end there, and then a key player goes down. Brad Biggs had the note that he left practice early, came up awkward in the final period. Kind of a vague representation of that, so still not completely sure what that means. Did his ankle get rolled a little bit? I don't know. I would guess in both these players' cases, if it's even slightly something, I wouldn't put him out there for joint practice tomorrow. Probably wouldn't even play either in the preseason opener if there's any risk whatsoever, because obviously week 1 is what you're targeting for all of your key players. The good news is if Darnell Wright, I mean, it wouldn't be good news if it was a long-term injury, but if it was something short-term, you do have a lot of tackles. I mean, you had 3 guys competing at left tackle: Braxton Jones, Ozzie Trapillo, Chrono Amagaji. He's actually banged up right now. You also have Theo Benedette, who's been getting run there. I think in a hypothetical world, if Darnell Wright couldn't play, you would go Braxton Jones at left tackle, Ozzie Trapillo at right tackle, the position he played primarily at Boston College, especially the last couple of years. So you do have some depth at tackle, which nice to say out loud. That's not been the case for this team. So that is the silver lining with Darnell's injury. But obviously, big year for him. We're hoping he takes that leap into elite status this year. So hopefully it's nothing major for either of these players, but certainly Darnell Wright, who's tasked with protecting Caleb Williams. What is the bigger injury in your eyes, without knowing specific? Like, just in a hypothetical world, they have a similar time length injury. Which one do you think is more significant? Type DW for Darnell Wright, KG for Kyler Gordon. Give us your thoughts in the comment section of this video. This is a great time to subscribe to Chicago Bears Now, because tomorrow there is Bears-Dolphins joint practice. We'll have a video reaction to that, so be on the lookout. And, of course, the preseason game on Sunday. If you see this thumbnail on Sunday, that is us. You are in the right place. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and lock us in for the entire 2025 season, because it really gets going this Sunday afternoon. Okay, another player who did not practice today, we didn't know why, but the team announced after practice that Roschon Johnson and Doug Kramer, not going to spend much time on Kramer, did not practice with foot injuries. And you think foot, that's kind of a vague one. Is that an ankle? Is that a low ankle sprain? Is that a bruise? I'm not sure, but obviously Roschon Johnson was in a lot of those goal line physical drills in that Tuesday practice, which was reportedly one of the most physical practices in the last several years at Bears training camp. Now, speaking about the running back position, I think you're starting to see roles be carved out a little bit. Obviously, DeAndre Swift is your starter. I think Kyle Monangai is your true backup, your second back that's, going to play just on, any down, obviously. And I think Roschon is carving out that short yardage goal line role. I mean, when they were installing short yardage packages on Tuesday, he was the primary bell cow for that, which is kind of how they used him last year at times. I think they'll do that this year with maybe a slightly expanded role. So that's what that's going to look like, I think. And then Travis Homer is going to be your special teamer, kind of emergency running back. But I think these will be the four backs on the roster, which is what I projected in my 53-man roster projection yesterday. But I do think Monangai is perhaps starting to lap Roschon in terms of just more of a guy who they'll use as an every down back, first, second, third down behind DeAndre Swift. So I think that is the case. But obviously, if Roschon Johnson's foot thing lingers, that could shift things around. So we'll obviously monitor that and continue to update you guys with any new developments. Okay, we'll get to some practice takeaways coming up here, as it was a lighter day out there, just shells, shoulder pads, helmets, no live contact, live periods or anything with joint practice tomorrow. They didn't go too hard, but there were a few things to discuss from that. So let's get back to that Braxton Jones, Ozzie Trapillo discussion over at the left tackle position. They split reps today, and the one note is that Braxton actually was first up in the team periods today. That is a change up from the last several practices. I'd say, 3 out of the last 4 out of the last 5, it's been Ozzie getting the initial reps with the ones. Now, they did split throughout practice, so I don't think it's some crazy thing to take away, but I do think it could be a signal of maybe we jumped the gun on the outside looking in, that Ozzie had taken a big lead in this competition, or at least a notable one. I do think this thing is back and forth still. One thing I do feel pretty confident in is I think this is down to 2 players at left tackle. Karan Amagaji was in the mix, but he did feel like a fairly distant third, and now he's been injured, has missed the last 3 or 4 practices. So I do think it's Braxton Jones and Ozzie Trapillo competing for that left tackle starting role. And like I said, with Braxton getting the initial reps at left tackle today, doesn't necessarily mean he's now in front. I think it is a signal, though, that this thing is still back and forth. I don't think any determination has been made. Will those be made in these joint practices and preseason games? Perhaps. Ben Johnson said they're going to put a lot of weight on these joint practices for all players. So big day tomorrow, huge day if you're in that left tackle competition. I think that is pretty safe to say. All right, get yourself a Caleb Williams jersey at chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. $80, 20% off for a limited time only. Take advantage of this deal. You're not going to want to miss out. Chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. Links in the comments and description of this video. Chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. Click and shop today. All right, another takeaway here. The offense wins the 2-minute drill today, as multiple reports of that surfaced from practice. Shout out to Greg Braggs Jr., who puts good information out there for all of us who aren't at training camp. Said Caleb Williams did a nice job navigating, the first team offense into field goal position in the 2-minute drill. Operations were clean, snaps were clean. Everyone got up to the line of scrimmage organized, which is most important. Caleb found Roma Dunze a couple times along with Olamide Zacchaeus. And these 2-minute drills, these situational operations have gone pretty back and forth throughout camp. I would say early on, the defense had the edge. Then the offense had a nice few days. And recently, it's been kind of back and forth. So if you added them up throughout camp, maybe the defense has won one or two more, but the offense has won their fair share as well. And that's what a good team should look like in camp, where it's a bit of back and forth there. So good to see the offense get one back today, because I do think the defense had won the last couple 2-minute drills. And then lastly, not really a practice takeaway, but we knew Caleb would be asked about the infamous net drill that has gone viral on social media, which I haven't talked about on the show up to this point because I just think it's kind of rage bait, if I'm being completely honest. But with Caleb addressing it today, I thought I would mention it. Here's what Caleb had to say. He says, it's a quick delivery drill, so you catch it. You're not trying to get the laces or anything. It's not like you're going through reads. It's just catch and deliver. Try to deliver the bottom left corner of the net. We're trying to aim as if it is a screen. It's a competition between us. So how fast can you get it out? How accurate can you get it out? It just so happened that one blew up and not the other ones. I just laugh at it. He later said, too, that there's a rule in the quarterback room where if in any of those drills you don't hit one in the pocket or whatever they call it, you have to, do something funny, like embarrass yourself in some kind of way. So he basically said his temper tantrum that people are calling it online was just fake outrage. It wasn't serious. It's not like he threw a fit at practice or anything. And this is really why I didn't address it, because I've got breaking news for you. A 4-throw net drill trying to just grab the ball and throw as quick as possible, that is not going to be the difference to whether or not Caleb Williams has a good NFL career. If he struggles, if he's a bust, it's not going to be because of some net drill in August of 2024. It's going to be because he's just not a good enough quarterback. He doesn't get through reads fast enough. He's not accurate enough. Whatever the case may be, it's not going to be of some isolated 7-second drill. I can promise you that. So I'm not even going to entertain this discussion that much longer, but since he talked about it today, I thought I would give a quick reaction to it. But I will say this. I think the Caleb PR team, I'm not saying it's anyone in his rep's fault or anything, but the internet hate around the Bears quarterback, I think it's gotten a little out of control. Literally someone the other day in the office, I can't even remember who it was like, it's kind of crazy that Caleb it might be the worst of the 6 first-round picks last year. And I was like, we're really going down that route already? J.J. McCarthy hasn't even played. Michael Penix played in 3 games and was very spotty. Drake May played a little over half the season and had moments, but let's not act like he tore the league up. Bo Nix put up good raw stats, but if you dive deeper into what he actually did in the season, it's a good rookie season, wasn't anything special. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is leader of the clubhouse right now. I think we've lost the plot a little bit. Can we get through another season here? We're to the point where this is one of the pitfalls of social media, I think, because everything is an overreaction, good or bad. So I just want to see it play out on the field. I think we got to give it more time, which is why reacting to a net drill is a bit ridiculous, especially when 5 minutes later they did a different net drill from 30 yards out, and he hit the target 7 times in a row, and no one wanted to talk about that one. So, yeah, I think it's all rage bait, and I guess technically I slightly fell into it today, but I am proud of myself for not discussing this 4 days ago when it happened, because I'm not going to get drawn off sides by internet trolls. At least I'm going to try not to. So that's kind of my stance on it. Okay, has the Caleb internet hate gone too far? Because I think it kind of has. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Give us your thoughts down in the comments section below on that one. Speaking of Caleb, he was asked today, hey, are you playing in the preseason game on Sunday? And he said that Ben Johnson has not informed him one way or the other yet, which I don't know if necessarily is a surprise, but the game is in 3 days. I think what's pretty obvious here, because Mike McDaniel made a comment yesterday that they're going to wait until after the joint practice to make a decision. I think Ben Johnson and Mike McDaniel talked yesterday, and I think they probably came up with a soft plan, but I think the complete plan is, hey, let's reconvene after the joint practice Friday, and let's make a mutual decision. Because typically in these joint practices, you're not going to see one team play starters and the other team not. They want to do the same thing. So I think after this joint practice, there will be some kind of decision made between the two teams, and the other team will try to mirror that. It may not be exact. Maybe one team plays starters for a drive, the other team doesn't. But you're not going to see a situation where one team plays starters for a quarter and a half and the other team does not. Like, it's going to be pretty close to one another, I would imagine. Unfortunately, I'm guessing starters don't play, especially if tomorrow is an intense competitive practice. But we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow. They should tell us, and one way or the other, we will bring that news to you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to today's show. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll continue to pump out content every single day, including going live for the watch party on Sunday. So be sure to subscribe and join us for that. And, of course, we'll have that practice reaction tomorrow as the Bears go up against the Dolphins. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon. All right, we'll get to our mailbag segment coming up here in just a few moments. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get on the show. Quick little update. Lefty 4 is still in the lead with our XP points at 825. Tuna Sock is at 650. And then Adam something, MO, is in third at 575. Whoever gets the most XP points today is going to get 5 bonus raffle tickets for Sunday's raffle, so be on the lookout for that. But hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get on the show.
You know how I know we're back, Harry? The bots are back. The old bots that no one asked for,
the old
no
bots.
one likes.
Come watch this stream. That doesn't work for tonight's preseason action.
Yeah, it'll probably download viruses onto your computer.
Who's back of the week? YouTube bots.
YouTube bots.
They are back.
Spam.
What is the first game, by the way? Colts-Ravens, 6 o'clock it looks like?
Yeah, I think so. And then they've got
Bengals, Eagles at 6:30. And then the Pete Carroll return to Seattle game that everybody's waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
9 o'clock. Raiders, Seahawks. Little NFL Network doubleheader tonight.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That'll be interesting. All right, Edixon, yo, could y'all play clips of Bears practice and vids? We cannot. Now, could we try and hope that no one claims it? Sure, because other people do. But if the person who, whoever owns those clips watches our content, they could say, hey, that's mine, and send YouTube a YouTube copyright claim, and we could get demonetized. So
now, if it's a fan clip, like that personally gets sent to you, what is...
If a fan sends us, hey, you can use it on the show, absolutely, because they're not going to go claim copyright. And I'm sure I could DM some of these fans that do that and play it, but you're just jumping through rabbit hoops at that point.
No, for sure.
But yeah, you could, again, would we likely get away with it? Probably, but when you're talking about a 125,000 subscriber channel and still kind of we're beyond a startup company, but like if something happened to one of our big channels, that'd be a problem. Is basically what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of the classic, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, but sure. I'd love to do it, man. I'd love to, and also the fan clips, because the Bears, this is one thing I disagree with them, because some training camps allow it, some don't. Those fan clips that get out, they're actually not supposed to. Fans are not allowed to film clips from practice. Now, some of them sneakily do and get away with it. But we're not allowed to show. And the scrolls in the chat says my beard is extremely unprofessional. Well, go watch local news then or something. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a beard guy. Yeah, I like T-shirts and beards. That's kind of how I roll. It's part of my personality.
I mean, it's a great look. First of all, it looks great. I don't know who thinks it looks unprofessional.
I get some Ryan Fitzpatrick comps every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, again, and also too, if you're that upset about a beard, that's a you thing.
Hey, man, everybody to each their own. Oh, Adam Morrow, Impact, is now in the lead.
Ooh,
or actually tied for the lead. Him and Lefty at 825 each.
Tied.
All right, let's go to Cornelius. We are here at Bears Now, like a lot of the running backs in the draft. Why didn't Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles draft running back before the 7th round? I think they tried to. It was pretty reported after the draft that they tried to trade up ahead of New England, and they would have almost certainly taken Travion Henderson, who's having a good camp, by the way. I also think Cullen in the 4th round, decent chance they would have taken Cam Scadaboo or Bashal Tootin if they fell to their pick at 109, and I think they went 104, 106. So we talked about it around the draft. They kind of got unlucky when the running backs went because it was right before they picked in 2 of those clusters. But Kyle Monangai's having a good camp, though. I mean, for the 7th, I thought Monangai was a round 4, round 5 player, and they got him in the 7th. Cullen was advocating for this guy for months, and I think he's going to play a role, so that's exciting.
Since the end of January, some would say.
Cullen's first draft crush.
It was. That, by the way, absolutely insane that the
Your
Bears
first
still picked
one.
him. Like, out of all the ones
What are
that
the
they
odds?
picked, I mean, it's incredible. Someone, by the way, said my Seahawks jersey is unprofessional. I think that one we can all maybe agree.
That's fair.
That's fair.
This is a Bears show.
This is true.
But hey, football's back, so what do you want us to do?
I'll accept that.
If he was wearing a Packers jersey, there's a window over there. I may or may not shove him out of it. I'm kidding.
If that were to happen, I'd be dead because I would never do that consciously.
Yeah, Cullen also hates the Packers
I can't stand them.
because
That is like one thing. Like when I was told originally that I'd be working with Harry here on Bears, I'll be like, oh, it's perfect. I hate the Packers.
yeah.
So I mean,
It works.
it works 100%, and I can't stand that team. All right.
Posey James getting in the mix, by the way. 4th place in XP points with 525 now, $10 super chat. I'm hearing JJ might be a serious injury. Do you have an update? Jalen Johnson, I've got nothing new, but Ben Johnson did make kind of a peculiar comment last week when he said there's a scenario he plays week 1. So does that mean it's more serious than we think? I don't really know. I think we need to hear an update on that thing in the next week or 2. I don't think it's like a season-threatening injury, but could he miss the first game or 2? I don't know. So I hope not because he's a big part of this defense. But to me, like, I don't really care about right now. If he could play week 1, just put him on ice until then. That's fine with me. But, yeah, there's nothing new there, Posey, unfortunately. But appreciate the 10. We got our guy Impact, who's in 2nd place, 825. Our friend Lefty made another push. He says, Caleb had a ton of pressure coming out of the draft with his expectations. Unfair, but part of the position. Yeah, that's how it goes, man.
Yep.
When you're hyped throughout college, you win a Heisman Trophy, you're the number 1 pick, like there's high expectations. So clearly he went into a situation last year where he obviously had his own issues in some of the performance, but Matt Eberflus was not up to the task of handling I think, any rookie quarterback, to be honest. And neither was Shane Waldron, which we learned. So
100%.
I think Ben Johnson doesn't mean it's going to work, but I feel a lot better now than I did at any point last year.
Yeah, and also too, like, again, just a friendly reminder: if you have pressure, that means people expect things from you, which is a good thing.
Yep.
Right? Like, if people actually care about whatever it is you do in life, that's a good thing. And I'm sure if you ask Caleb, he would say the same thing, that he appreciates having that pressure because that's, like you said, part of the business, right? So, yeah, never run away from pressure. And I don't think Caleb is by any means.
Nope. Angel, you better keep the beard. I think you mean beard.
Yeah.
I'm not a clean shave guy. That I can promise you. I probably do need a trim in the near future, but I don't go. I can't remember the last time I didn't have facial hair on my face. So it's been a while.
You'll do a good trim. Like, I'll
probably do a trim after the preseason before week 1, and then just let it fly for the season. That's probably what I'll do.
Yeah, don't cut it until the Bears win a Super Bowl.
Wow. I might be stepping on my beard one day if that's the case. Hopefully not. Lefty, appreciate the 5. He's in our XP lead. The bots are back. I would love for both DJ and Rome to get 1,500 yards at least.
No more tie.
No more tie. 1,500 at least. If they both go for 1,500, I think the Bears win about 15 games. Do we have NFL news?
Rashawn Slater suffered a serious patella injury today in practice and believed to be season-ending. He just recently signed a 4-year, $114 million extension. Man.
Jordan Schultz back again, by the way.
Back again. I will say
that is a season-altering injury, in my opinion.
Do the Bears say, hey, we got some tackles here for your Chargers?
Braxton Jones for a second. take it or leave it. You
By the
never
way,
know.
if someone wants to, I'm just saying, hypothetically, put that in the chat, #Bears, make it on the show. Just saying, for this mailbag.
If you want to trade one of our tackles to the Chargers, we'll answer that question.
Hey, that's free game right there. Just letting y'all know. Free game.
Cornelius, I don't like our running back room. I'm okay with it. I don't love it, but I think it's going to be better than we think, is what I'll say. So I think Swift will perform better in this offense. The O-line's improved. That should help. Roschon's always been a good goal line back. Now, is he more than that? I don't know. Kyle Monangai, I think, has some talent. So, yeah, I don't think it's a high ceiling RB room, but I don't think the floor is terrible. I think it's better than Dallas. I think it's better than. Do we have more?
No, sorry, that's some NBA stuff. The Warriors are apparently interested in Josh Giddey.
Are they just going to do a swap?
Giddey for
Kuminga?
That would be
they each like some kind of sign-in trade
or something. That'd be wild.
That would be
some Chicago-related news, but there we go.
Yeah,
no, but I mean, look, I'll leave my Kyle Monangai bias out of this. Look, Swift is a starting plus caliber running back in this league.
Yeah, he's a starter. He's not a high-end starter, but he's a starter.
Right, and I think, with the additions on the offensive line with Ben Johnson, and his offensive mind with hopefully the improved passing game, like, he's going to have a better year. I don't know if it's going to be quite the year that he had with,
I think he'll have less touches, but more efficient.
Yeah.
That's what I would guess.
And then, like you said, Roschon Johnson has a role. We'll see what Monangai is as a rookie. And then, Travis Homer, Ian Wheeler are probably depth/special teams guys. But, yeah, I mean, look, could it be better? Sure. But I don't think it's going to be a hamper on this team.
Curious to see what Wheeler looks like in the preseason. My guess is he's your practice squad running back, but we'll see if he can push for a roster spot. Impact again. I seriously hope we put a 30 burger on Eberflus. I'll chug a beer on your guys' behalf. All right, Impact. Let's see. Let's do it. And by the way, Impact has tied it up with Lefty.
Here,
1,075 XP each, baby.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and show this one more time, just so people again are reminded, because we are giving away 5 raffle tickets for this upcoming Sundays.
And by the way, we're about to get into the true mailbag flow. So #Bears Super Chat. We're kind of just chit-chatting right now. And then we'll answer those questions for you. But our top 3 right now, Adam, a.k.a. Impact, Lefty, don't know his actual name, a.k.a. Lefty, and then Tuna Sock is in third.
A.k.a. Cornelius.
The way to get points is to just comment in the live chat, but the way to get big points is by super chatting. Whoever gets the most XP points, 5 bonus raffle tickets for our Sunday watch party raffle. So opportunity for you guys to take advantage of that. All right, let's get into this mailbag, #Bears or Super Chat. Real quick, I'll address the Super Chat, Benjamin. He says, sorry if you've already said this, but what happened to Darnell and Kyler have been busy all day. We don't have specifics other than they left practice, Benjamin. There's been no further announcement. Is it serious? Is it not? We don't really know. Hopefully not. We'll see if they're out there at joint practice tomorrow. If they are, then all good. If they're not, then we'll hear from Ben Johnson. I'm guessing he'll talk after practice. So, that's kind of the latest there, Benjamin. And Roschon Johnson also did not practice with a foot injury. Cole Kmet was back, so that is good news. But that's where that sits. All right, mailbag coming up, and then we'll knock out one more segment, and we'll call it a day here on Bears Now. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Got a Bears Now mailbag coming at you here. My name is Harrison Graham. We start with Ozzy for Prez, #Bears. Which rookie are you most excited to watch during the preseason? Well, I think you can answer this a lot of ways. I think I'll say Kyle Monangai because I think we'll see him a good amount now. Colston Loveland, I'm excited to watch him. How much does he actually play in the preseason? Because I think he's going to have a big role. I don't know. Luther Burden's high on there. I think he'll play a decent amount. Excited to watch him as well. Obviously, we want to see how Ozzy Trapillo, to your name there, how he holds up at left tackle, so on and so forth. You're always excited to watch the rookies, but I think Monangai gets a lot of run. I want to see if he can kind of lock in that RB2 role behind DeAndre Swift. Which rookies are you guys watching closest in the preseason? I want to hear from you down in the comments section below. Which rookie are you watching closest? All right, Kobe White says, what's your opinion on ESPN asking if it's, quote, time to worry about Caleb Williams? Yeah, I saw everybody freaking out. Courtney Cronin did reply to a tweet saying she doesn't write the headlines. So, this is a draw clicks world, right? I mean, whether it's YouTube, whether it's articles, whatever. I try not to be misleading with my headlines, but you still want to draw people in, so I'll defend them a little bit. I did think that was a little egregious because a lot of the article really wasn't like panic time stuff. So my opinion is I'm kind of worn out by training camp already. I want to see games. Let's see how he does. He's either going to play well or he's not. So let's start with the joint practice stuff, the preseason action, however much he gets. Then obviously September 8th, that's when it really starts to count. So he's either going to live up to the expectations or he's not. So we'll find out soon enough. Dylan ranked these guys 1 to 6 to most to least catches: DJ, Rome, Luther, Cole, Loveland, Olamide Zaccheaus. I'll say DJ 1 because I think like even if he's not getting or the best true just like full route tree receiver, I think they'll manufacture touches there. So I'll go him 1. I'll go Rome 2. I'll go Loveland 3. Zaccheaus 4. Cole 5, Luther 6. That's my guess. I think Luther will make some high impact plays, but I just don't think he'll get the target share that these other guys get. So DJ, Rome, Loveland, Zaccheaus, Cole Kmet 5, Luther Burden 6. That's my guess when we tally it up at the end of the year. All right, speaking of the quarterback, if you want to get his jersey on sale, limited time only, chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. As we're filming this, these are only $80 as of Thursday. If you're watching later on, they could go back to $100, but typically once these sales hit, they stick with them. So check it out right now, chatsports.com/Caleb jersey. That link will be in the description and comments of this video. All right, more questions here. Augustine, then we'll hit a couple of these super chats. Does the Addison suspension make the Monday night game versus the Vikings a must-win, even if the Bears usually have a slow start? It's hard to say any Week 1 game is a must-win. I do think it's a critical game, though. It's a divisional opponent. You get them at home. It's JJ's first start. That game against Minnesota should be easier than when you go to Minnesota later in the season because then you'll be on the road. Then JJ will have games under his belt. Then Jordan Addison presumably will be available, assuming he's not injured. So yes, I must win is strong. Important game you need to win. Like very close to must win. I would say yes. Like I would say it's as close to a must win you could have in Week 1 without it actually being one. But it's a pretty critical game, man. Like that's a game you need to take advantage of because if you lose that one, then you're at Detroit Week 2. You're staring 0-2 potentially down the barrel. So pretty big Week 1 game that is in your advantage considering you're playing at home and the opposing quarterback is without one of his top 2 weapons and it's his first NFL action. So yeah, critical game, no question. Shout out to Impact for the $50 super chat as he's trying to get the most live XP points here. He says, last one as I have to get to this fishing trip going. Love the show, Bear Down Boys. Impact, if you're watching live, come back and see. I'll announce at the end who was today's top fan, and if it was you, you get the most XP points. So congrats to you. Appreciate the donation. Angel Carter with the 10. Appreciate you, Angel. I was driving and you speak to text. Can't wait for the live game day shows. Playoff bound, bear down. I hope so, Angel. Get the bear downs in the chat for Angel. And also, join us for our watch party on Sunday. Bears Dolphins live watch party. Can't wait for this one as we're back into watch party mode. We're filming this on Thursday, so don't know exactly who's going to play, but whoever's out there will be live at least by 11 a.m., maybe a little before 11. Colin and I are kind of getting the itch, little Tyrone Bigham style. We're ready to go here, so let's see what happens. Excited to see who plays well, who doesn't, and we'll break it all down. Justice Storm, would the Bears trade Braxton Jones to the Chargers? So, yeah, Rashawn Slater likely out for the year. Huge blow for L.A. I do think the Bears are a team that could get some calls about tackle help before roster cutdown day because, obviously, they haven't determined who the starting left tackle is yet, but you've got Braxton Jones, Ozzie Trapillo, Karan Amagaji, obviously Darnell Wright, your starting right tackle. Even Theo Benedet's shown some nice things. If you like Benedet enough to make the roster, he could be your fourth tackle. Could you trade one of Braxton or Karan Amagaji potentially? I don't think there's any world where they would trade Ozzie Trapillo, even if he doesn't win the starting job. They just drafted him. But Braxton in a contract year, Karan Amagaji only in year 2, but he's had some injury concerns. If you got a middle round pick, would you consider flipping him? Possibly. I don't think they'd want to punt on that development yet. I think Braxton's the guy that they would consider if he didn't win the job. And that's obviously a big if because he's still in the mix. All right, Mike, Nintendo Master, what QBs will play Sunday? As of filming this Thursday, we don't know. For sure, Tyson's going to play a lot. Austin Reed. I would assume Case Keenum plays some. Maybe not a lot, though. I mean, as a vet, maybe he plays a drive or two. I'm guessing we'll see Tyson the most and then Austin Reed a little bit. TBD as of filming Thursday, Caleb and Case. But if you're watching later in the week, you probably know the answer to this. So, you guys are on social media. I'll be tweeting it at HGramNFL. Speaking of the preseason opener, it doesn't really matter who wins or loses, but it's always fun to predict the score. Who wins? What's the score? Bears, Dolphins. Last I checked, Chicago, 3.5-point favorite. I think if you bet preseason, that's a little rich, but have at it if you wish. Bears, Dolphins, get your score predictions in right now. All right, a few more here. Mark Peterson, hot take. Loveland has 10 touchdowns and 1,100 yards. That's a hot take. I think he's really talented. I also think there's a lot of mouths to feed. I do think pushing for 10 touchdowns could happen. I just think he's going to be such a mismatch in the red zone, and even when there's good coverage, if it's one-on-one, he is 6'6" and can really jump. So I think there's going to be opportunities for him. I think the 10 touchdowns is more likely than 1,100 yards. I just don't think he'll get that many targets. Like, for him to have 1,100 yards, that means at minimum you're probably looking at 70 catches, probably more like 80 or 90. It's a lot. I mean, you have DJ, you have Rome, you have a fellow tight end, Cole Kmet, who's going to get some work, even if Loveland is the bigger targeted guy. Zacchaeus and Burden are going to get opportunities. Swift out of the backfield. So I think 1,100 is, if he does that, I think he could be in the mix for Rookie of the Year. I really do. So 10 touchdowns more likely. I wouldn't project that either, but I do think he's going to have an impact on this team. Posey Jones, appreciate the 10. Here's a test. With all the weapons on offense, who do you think will be left out? I'm talking passing if Caleb throws 30 to 32 times. Well, I think just based on that order that I said earlier, like early on especially, I think Burden may not have as many targets as you would think. Cole Kmet, is he getting 5-6 targets a game? Maybe it's more like 3 or 4. I think it'll be kind of week to week, to be honest, based on matchups, based on how teams defend this offense. The good news is you have a lot of guys who can make plays, and you're not going to be able to bracket everybody. So where your one-on-one opportunities come, those are the matchups to attack. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it'll look different some weeks. I think DJ will have big games. Rome will have big games. There will be random games where Zacchaeus catches 6 or 7 balls. Colston Loveland's going to have some big games. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. We know they're going to run the football as well. So, it's never a bad thing when you have lots of options. That's all I'll say. Appreciate all the questions. A lot of good ones today. If you have any more, hit me up on social media at HGramNFL. Give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram. DMs are open as well. I'll catch up on some DMs this weekend. A little behind, especially on Instagram, but I will be sure to do that. So message me over there and bear down. All right, Cornell, Rashawn Slater out for the season. Trade Braxton now. You can't trade him if you don't know who your starter is yet. Like, look, in a perfect world, Ozzy Trapillo is an upgrade. You feel good enough about Amagaji, and if the Chargers got desperate and gave you a third-round pick or something like that, that'd be great. But you can't force the issue. If Braxton's your best option at left tackle, you got to keep him. I mean, that's pretty simple.
Yeah, because there's still a really good chance that he is your starting left tackle, as you mentioned, and obviously I hear what you're saying in terms of maybe does Ryan Poles reach out and say, hey, listen, we've got some tackle options. Who would you be interested in? Maybe get a feeler call out there. But in terms of hey, we've got Braxton, let's make this happen. I think, like you said, it's too early for that. So, yeah.
By the way,
Adam Morrow, killing it on the top fans.
Yeah, you want to go through the top fans
Sure.
there? I think may have a little Darnell Wright.
Okay.
Could have a Darnell Wright update. Stay tuned.
Yeah, just let me know. Adam Morrow is leading the way. Impact also. So shout out to you. We got one more segment. So it's pretty much your last chance. Obviously, if you guys want to send super chats throughout the show, we greatly appreciate all donations. You could also chat as well to gain XP. Now, it does cap you off at a certain point. We still don't know quite when it kind of cuts you off, so to speak. But if you guys want to be our top XP, our top fan for today's live stream, you will, as you see at the top of your screen, get 5 free tickets for Sunday's preseason Week 1 raffle, which usually is a pretty cool Bears item. Again, we'll wait and see what that is, but this is kind of the top leaderboards as Harry's kind of going through this stuff.
Yeah, I've got an update here, and we'll do a little splice in after the show for Darnell because we have an update. Brad Biggs in his post-practice article today, the Bears can breathe a sigh of relief after right tackle Darnell Wright left practice early, walked to the sideline, yada, yada, yada. Wright immediately left the field on his own. Turns out it was a minor collarbone issue with no fracture, so he will be in the clear. That's paramount as the offense was down 3 linemen at the start of practice with Amagaji, 4th straight practice. He was out. Doug Kramer out with a knee issue, and then Bill Murray out with an ankle issue. Pointing ahead to Friday's joint practice and Sunday's preseason game against the Dolphins, the Bears don't want to push it with any more depth issues on the line. So I would guess Darnell's not going to practice tomorrow or play Sunday based on that, but no major injury, which is the most important.
Knock on wood, sounds like the Bears came away relatively scot-free on that one. Not that, to be honest, I wouldn't really expect Darnell to play, if I'm being 100% honest, before this injury, but...
I would have liked him out there tomorrow, obviously, the joint practice, because you want to bring your best competitive self there. So I'll be curious to see what they do, because all these other tackles have been working at the left side, so I wonder... Do they kind of mix and match over there? Do they just go Theo Benedette at right tackle tomorrow / in the preseason?
Is it Karan Amagaji? Is it?
Well, he's been out. He's missed 4 practices in a row.
Yeah, so
do you go Braxton left, Ozzy right for tomorrow? Ozzy's obviously done it, but I'm also like, do you want to move him back and forth right now, or do you want him to just focus on trying to win the left tackle job? So we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow what they do. I don't think Darnell is going to be out there, though. So.
Safe to say.
The Notcast, what show did you watch with Hannah for birthday? We actually watched a documentary. I'm trying to remember which one. It was that, where is Amy Bennett or something like that? Have y'all seen that one on Netflix? Mm-hmm. We're kind of true crime nerds, so
nice.
We love those. Love's probably a weird word because you don't want any person to go missing, but I'm fascinated by missing persons cases and all that stuff. So I don't think it's Amy Bennett. What's the last name? Let me Google this. Where is Amy Bradley?
Amy Bradley.
For any true crime nerds, good Netflix doc, 3 episodes. So that's what we watched.
Yeah, there's Netflix has done a couple of those, really good
They're
ones.
big in the doc game now.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have great sports ones, but they have a lot of true crime ones too. So they've invested a lot of money into the documentary game, which I think is a good move because I feel like it's a very millennial targeted content, certainly for me at least. All right, Aaron Brask, is there a scenario Joe Tooney kicks out the left tackle? Emergency, but that's not why they brought him here. They brought him here because the interior was a joke, And that's where Caleb, when he struggled the most last year, was against interior pressure. So the good news is you have that in your back pocket, Colin. Like, you can go to that. That's the nuclear option. But another reason why you don't want to do that is your depth on the interior is actually worse than your tackle depth right now.
It is.
So
yeah.
I don't view that as that viable of an option.
When Ryan Bates is your kind of lead kind of guy off the bench in terms of either center or guard replacement, it's not necessarily going to fill the old fans with confidence, let's say. So, and then after that, it's Luke Newman. It's the
you got Ryan Bates, who, if
Yeah.
healthy, I think is a solid player. I mean, Kramer, he's really just a center.
Yeah.
I mean, he can play guard if you need him to. Stromberg. Yeah, the interior depth isn't great after Ryan Bates. So, yeah, I think he stays a left guard unless the only scenario he kicks out the left tackle is like in a game day situation based on your available offensive lineman. Like if you were to lose 2 tackles in a game, I could see that happening. But I don't think you would do that for an extended time, like weeks on there. So, all right, final segment here, and then we'll wrap up. We'll kind of, going into this final segment, by the way, Adam with that $50 super chat, big lead in the XP battle, 3,600 points. So, going to take a big effort from someone to catch up. So he is in line to get those 5 bonus raffle tickets. But I'm going to take a look at some players who I think need to ball out in the preseason. That's coming up right now. I'm Harrison Graham. The NFL preseason is here, and I am going to break down 10 Bears players with a heavy emphasis on 5 that I think need to ball out during these 3 preseason games for a variety of reasons. Maybe it's for a chance to make the roster. Maybe it's just to show enough to make the practice squad, or maybe it's someone who's pretty safe to make the team, but if they ball out in the preseason, could earn a starting role. So we'll take a look at those players here in a moment. But guys, our next milestone is 127,000 subscribers. Listen, our watch parties are here. Starting on Sunday against the Dolphins for the preseason opener, we're going to be going live for every single game. Could we get to 127,000 by the end of Sunday? I think that's possible. Hit that subscribe button. Join us for the watch party. We'll be here all season long. Okay, these 5 players first, and then we'll go quicker on 5 more. Must ball out in the preseason. Tyler Scott. And shout out to, I'll pull him up in my DMs, Michael Perez, I believe, yes, went to training camp practice on Thursday. He said Tyler Scott was often to himself and seemed disengaged. So I wonder if he kind of knows that he's on the outs here. But listen, strong preseason, maybe that changes. I do think he's on the outside looking in for making this roster. The clock is certainly ticking when it comes to the third-year wide receiver who we haven't heard from much during training camp. Even, guys like J.P. Richardson, Miles Boykin have outperformed him up to this point. And I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised, and I'm definitely disappointed by his lack of development. I loved him coming out of Cincinnati. He averaged like 50 yards a touchdown in college. I mean, he was just a big-time playmaker there. And for whatever reason, it just hasn't translated. His first year, we saw some flashes, but at times he had issues tracking the ball downfield. He had some drops. So I was like, okay, 4th-round pick. He's going to have some ups and downs. And then last year, he didn't factor in at all. I think he had either 0 or like 2 catches the whole season. He didn't do anything. And I thought, okay, innovative offensive mind, creativity, Tyler Scott speed. Let's see what Ben Johnson can get out of him. And it seems like other guys are just better. So I don't know if he's disinterested. I don't know if, sometimes we just miss with our draft analysis. But Dane Brugler had him as like his 7th receiver in that draft as a 2nd-round grade, falls to the 4th. I loved the value. And he's just done hardly anything. It's just surprising to me. So you're kind of feeling like this is his last chance here in these 3 exhibitions to push for a roster spot. But he's for sure behind, Luther, Zacchaeus, Adunze, and DJ. I think he's behind Devin Duvernay, especially given his return ability. And Miles Boykin's had a better camp, but so has J.P. Richardson. So I think he's in trouble. I think it's a tall hill to climb, but maybe it's not even possible. Maybe there's nothing he can do at this point to make the team. But if anyone could use a big-time preseason, it's Tyler Scott. The same is true for a guy like Dominique Robinson, who had a good OTAs period, got shouted out by Ben Johnson. Haven't heard his name a ton in camp. I will say on Thursday, he did beat Darnell Wright pretty bad once, apparently, so that's a good sign. That's a good rep. But it's been few and far between. And this quote from Dennis Allen caught my attention on Thursday's practice, after Thursday, I should say. He said, "I've been impressed with what he's been able to do, but he's still learning how to play the defensive end position. I understand he was a receiver recruit at a high school and switched positions in college. It's year 4. Like, sure, you're always learning and improving, but, like, that's a quote I would expect to hear in, like, year 2. Like, year 4, that's a bit of a red flag to me. I mean, at some point, initially you're a project, and then maybe that's just all you ever are. Like, you're an athletic guy, you're gifted with physical tools, but maybe you just don't know how to play the position. It kind of feels like that's where we're at with Dominique Robinson, where really good athlete, has good feet, but he just doesn't know how to play defensive end because he was never that his whole life. He switched to that in college, was successful in the MAC because he was so athletic. You get him in the NFL level, and he can't make hay. Like, it just doesn't work. So, I don't have expectations here. I was pretty surprised coming out of the OTA periods that he was a player Ben Johnson said, or shouted out. But what did I say at the time? I said, well, we've been here before with Dominique Robinson. Let's see what happens when the pads go on. And we haven't heard his name hardly at all during camp. We have a couple times, hasn't been completely quiet, but I don't have expectations even if he makes his team. And whether it's him, whether it's Tano Passanio, whether it's Austin Booker, someone needs to emerge as that third edge rusher behind Montez Sweat and Dio Adengbo. And if no one does, you're going to have to go get someone because I don't think you can lean on just 2 starters. They're defensive linemen. They're not going to play 95% of the snaps. So that is something to seriously monitor during the preseason. If you're not satisfied with what you have in your depth guys there, you're going to have to bring someone in, whether that's someone that gets cut on cut down day or whether that's signing a free agent. So we'll see where that goes. But Dominique Robinson, I need to see some flashes, buddy, if you're going to factor in and make this football team. Okay, today's show sponsored by Brunt. Ben Johnson brings his working boots today every single day, and so should you. You can get $10 off with code CHAT with Brunt and their boots and all their other items as well. And listen, I'm a homeowner. There's always projects around the house to work on, and Brunt's boots provide both comfort and the durability required to get these jobs done. Before I found Brunt, I can't tell you how many different working boots I tried and went through. I was always left with foot pain, blisters. They just didn't offer the overall performance that Brunt does. The Marin boots, which are my favorite from Brunt, are the most comfortable I've ever worn. You can finally have durable work boots that are comfortable as your sneakers. Believe me, they're lightweight, waterproof, slip and oil resistant, heat resistant, and electrical hazard rated. Join over 500,000 customers with Brunt as they will let you try their boots on the job risk-free. And by the way, all their products have free shipping. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work way too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better, boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. Get $10 off for a limited time only with code CHAT at checkout. That's code CHAT at bruntworkwear.com. Code CHAT. You can also use /chat at the end of that link, bruntworkwear.com/chat. After you order, they'll ask where you heard about Brunt. Tell them we sent you. That'll do us a favor. Bears Now by Chat Sports. Link is in the comments and description of this video. Get shopping today. Okay, J.P. Richardson. I think he's in a pretty good position, unless he's just horrendous in the preseason, to be on the practice squad. Is there a world he earns a roster spot? I think there's a path. I do think it's a narrow one, but he's had a really good camp. He has flashed a lot. It started the first day of camp when he made a diving one-handed catch on a scramble drill throw from Tyson Bagent, and he's made plays almost every single day. but he's going to need a strong preseason to make this team. So what is his path to making the team? Well, when he is out there at receiver, consistently get open and make plays, because he's going to be going up against 2, 3s, and sometimes 4s. So he needs to be beating, especially 3s and 4s, especially pretty consistently, and he's going to have to win his fair share of battles against opposing backup corners. If he can do that, make catches consistently, that'll be a good sign. And then also, can he be reliable in the return game? I would imagine in some of these preseason games, he's going to get an opportunity to return some punts. If he can pop a couple, obviously catch the ball cleanly, then maybe he does push a guy like Devin Duvernay who can hang on to that role. So I think it's a fairly big long shot. I do think he's safe to make the practice squad, but if he can really ball out, make a lot of plays at receiver, and also show value on special teams, then I do think there's a path for him to making this roster. So we'll see if he's able to do it or not. It all starts on Sunday. Okay, a couple more here, then we'll get to the other 5 guys. Roschon Wright, I think he is pretty safe on this team, barring a bad preseason, because he's been working with the ones pretty consistently with Jalen Johnson out. It's been him and Tyreek Stevenson with guys like Terrell Smith and Nick McLeod rotating in alongside Kyler Gordon at nickel. But the question is, can he show enough consistency in the preseason games against opponents to actually earn a starting job? Because that CB2 role is still up for grabs. We know Jalen's the CB1. We know Kyler's the starting nickel. But that CB2 job is out there. It's for the taking, and it could come down to these exhibition games to see who's going to be that guy, who plays with the best instincts, who makes plays on the football. Obviously himself, Tyreek Stevenson, Terrell Smith, I still think has a bit of an opportunity as well. I think someone has to take it away from Tyreek Stevenson, but Dennis Allen said it last week. I think it still holds true today. That CB2 job is up for grabs. It is not locked down by any means. So if you're Roschon Wright, you haven't shown a ton in your career up to this point. Kind of a flop in Dallas, last year in Minnesota, just a backup. But this is an opportunity in real games, or at least preseason games, to make plays on the football, which is what he's been doing in practice. So I'm eager to see if he can do it, because he has press man physical attributes that I like. 6'4", 200 pounds. He fits that build, but you have to actually go make plays. So eager to see if he can do it. Who do you guys think is CB2? Type TS for Tyreek Stevenson, NW for Roschon Wright, or if you think it's someone else, comment below. Terrell Smith. If you think it's a guy like Nick McLeod, I think he's in the mix as well. Throw their names down in the comments. All right, last one before we go a little rapid fire. Theo Benedette, the Canadian Eagle, if you watched Hard Knocks last year. He's been getting some reps consistently with the 2s, but also a few with the 1s because Karan Amagaji's missed some time. Obviously, Braxton Jones, there's been days where they've limited his reps. Alex Shapiro had the note. He got some first-team reps at left tackle. That was during the goal line installation drill. So some of that could have been just getting extra linemen on the field. But with Karan Amagaji hurt, he's taken advantage of those opportunities. A lot of the work he's gotten is at right tackle with the 2s, because obviously Braxton, Ozzie, and Karan were in that 3-man competition at left tackle. And then Theo Benedette's been working behind Darnell Wright with the second-team offense. So I do think he's in the mix to potentially make this team. I'd say he's a lock to make the practice squad at this point, but I think there's an opportunity for him to make the roster. I actually had him making the roster in my most recent 53-man roster projection. The only thing you wonder is because the top 4 there are virtual locks unless they trade one, right? Like, could they trade one to the Chargers for the Rashawn Slater situation? I don't know. Well, things happen that we don't anticipate, but Darnell Wright's on this team. Braxton's on this team if there's no trade. Obviously, Ozzie Trapillo's on this team. They just drafted him in the second round. And I think even though he's been injured at times and last year wasn't great, Karan Amagaji was having some good practices before he went down recently, and he was a third-round pick last year. I don't think they're cutting him. Will you keep 5 offensive tackles? That's I don't know. I think that would be the one thing that could keep Theo Benedette off the team. So maybe for the Bears, put him in at guard at times. Can he hold up at guard? Do they give Karan Amagaji some looks at guard when he plays? I don't know if he's going to be healthy for the preseason opener, but I think that's his path to the roster if some of these guys are versatile and can kick inside, including himself. If he's just a tackle and he's the 5th tackle, he could be on the outside looking in. So keep an eye on him. few more just to monitor. Austin Booker, I think he's on the team, but opportunity there to be that third edge rusher. That job is up for grabs to be that number one rotate in guy coming off the edge. So we'll see if he's able to do that. Big preseason last year. We'll see if he can do it again. Zach Pickens, kind of like Tyler Scott, kind of feels like a last chance. Hasn't done much in camp, but if he could pop in the preseason, maybe he sneaks onto the roster, especially with Shamar Turner's injury. Noah Sewell, right now, he's the man to beat for that number 3 linebacker job. Kind of like Roschon Wright, strong preseason, probably earns a starting job. So keep an eye, or at least kind of a fringe starter. We know in base defense it's 2 linebackers, but you guys know what I mean. Ian Wheeler, I think right now he's looking more like a practice squad player, but can he have a strong preseason like he did a year ago? If he can, perhaps he pushes his way onto the roster. And then Joel Wilson, Steven Carlson's had a little bit of a better camp at tight end, but these games could carry some weight. We'll see if he can push to be that 4th tight end, assuming they do keep 4 on the 53, which I think they will. All right, let us know who needs to ball out the most during the preseason. Throw a name down in the comments. Like, to me, this isn't like a Caleb or Rome. Like, those guys are going to be judged on Sundays when the games actually start, the real games. To me, you're talking about roster bubble guys, young guys looking to take the next step, stuff like that, which obviously Caleb and Rome are, but I don't think their preseason successes or failures are going to have heavy weight on how they play in the regular season. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chicago Bears Now. Be sure to subscribe and join us on Sunday for the preseason opener. We'll be live at least an hour before kickoff. That's 11 a.m. Central Time, perhaps even 10:45. So turn on those notifications, and we'll see you then. Bear down. All right, we'll run through our final super chats, and then we will sign off here.
Also, declare the top fan, which I think we know who it is.
Yeah, we'll declare that. That's going to be our guy, Impact, a.k.a. Adam Morrow. So we'll get that written down here. But
unless somebody maybe wants to send in.
If Lefty or Posey sent in a 50, it's possible they would jump him because all 3 of those were close. And then when he sent the 50, he tripled his total. So I'm guessing a 50 would get one of those guys in the ballpark. So if you're wanting to try to get those 5 bonus raffle tickets, that's probably what it's going to take. Otherwise, it's going to go to Impact. If Jaden busted, doesn't look like he's going to, unless you're talking about the inappropriate angle there. With Mitch being worse in Pittsburgh and Fields struggling in New York, is it safe to say the Bears will develop a QB if they'd be good elsewhere? If they'd be good elsewhere. What do you mean to say the Bears will develop a QB if they'd be good elsewhere? I don't know what he's asking. Do you know what he's asking?
With Mitch being worse.
Are you saying is it safe to say they won't develop one? I need some clarification in the chat, Jaden. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, that I don't think's correct English.
Is it safe to say the Bears will develop a QB if they're good? If they be
good elsewhere.
Well, neither of them have been good elsewhere, so I don't.
Yeah.
Because you say.
If anyone can make sense of that, please let us know.
I feel like he mistyped somewhere.
Yeah. If those Walter says if those QBs were good after the Bears, does that mean we are the problem?
Well, they weren't, so.
There you go.
If anything, you should be optimistic that one can be developed here because Mitch was objectively worse since he's left Chicago. And Fields, small sample size, I guess he was slightly better last year in Pittsburgh, but not good enough to hold off Russell Wilson coming off 2 bad years. So,
yeah.
So, I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for, but I think it's since those QBs were not good at all, is it a development or drafting problem? I do think it's both. I mean, clearly, Mitch was just the wrong pick. That one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't think Justin was the wrong pick. He went 4th in that draft, and he's been the second best.
Yeah.
Now, that draft hasn't lived up to the billing, but after Trevor, he's been the best. He's been better than Zach Wilson. He's been better than Trey Lance, certainly. He's been better than Mac Jones. I mean, Mac, I guess, has had the best individual season, but since their rookie years, Fields has been better than Mac.
Real big names you're throwing out, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that, but I'm just saying,
Right.
like,
Right. No, I agree.
Justin Fields 11th overall. I don't view that like, sure, he hasn't lived up to that, but based on like going into that draft, I still think that was like a pretty solid pick. Trading up to draft Mitch made no sense.
I agree.
Not even because like they should have traded up to take Mahomes or Watson, but like you could have just stayed at 3 and taken Mitch if he was your guy. Like no team was jumping you.
Right.
You just a complete Ryan Pace just zeroed in on the wrong guy. So I would say with Fields, it was a combination of there's just limitations with him / I don't think he was developed that well. With Mitch, I just don't think there was nearly as much to work with as they thought.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So I think it's a combination. You can't sit there and say you can't give the Bears the benefit of the doubt from a development standpoint because it's literally never happened.
Right.
So I'm not defending the Bears in that sense, but I also think like the special ones find a way, and Mitch Trubisky and Justin Fields have not. So I don't think that was just complete developmental failure. So,
Gotcha.
Sam,
Loctera.
they released the Epstein files, and rumor has it it's 53 people located within Lambeau Field in Wisconsin. What's going on, and should they be arrested? Listen, that's up for the people to decide, Sam Loctera. Rumor tell me that your guy Josh Dobbs is in that range right now. Would that just break your heart? For those who don't know, Sam Loctera is obsessed with Josh Dobbs for some reason. So he'd be in shambles if Josh Dobbs was on the Epstein list. Don't think Josh Dobbs is on the Epstein list. I want to be clear on that. So
Did you? Oh, Loctera.
that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Hey, never
All
change
right.
Loctera. All right, I think it's time to announce
yeah,
it, right?
Shout out to Impact. He's our top fan. We'll get your name written down. I know you had to go Impact, but if you come back, watch the end of the stream, you're going to get 5 bonus tickets. So be sure to join our watch party on Sunday. You're starting with a 5-ticket lead. TBD on the raffle item, but we'll have that straightened out by then. Appreciate everybody for tuning in until now. And get ready. Bears football is back. We'll have a practice recap tomorrow after joint practice. I'm actually traveling to my hometown tomorrow, but I'll do a video from there. And we'll be back in studio live on Sunday. Go check out our Seahawks stream in Cullen tonight. He will be producing that. 8 o'clock Central, Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Search that on your YouTube search bar. It'll pop up if you want to go hang out with Cullen. And we'll see you guys soon. Bear down.